Hey, what's up, my beautiful people? It's your boy Devo, so motivational, back with another day trading spy recap. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, real quick, say hi to my mini. Say hi. Say hi. She a little camera shy. Look, say hi. She's saying what's up, y'all. So it's another day trading spy recap. Real quick, I want to say thank you all for the likes, the comments, the subscribes. Thank you guys for everything y'all do for me. Thank you guys for sticking through the journey. Look, now she want to be in the camera. It is a journey, and I appreciate every single one of y'all who are with me. Okay, and so today is a pretty good one. Um, we over leveraged today. We realized we over leveraged, and we got straight out. Okay, we so I'm gonna get straight into it, but real quick, I want to show y'all the earnings that we had today. So, I mean, yesterday. So yesterday after market closed, and currently I'm in a trade. So I wanted to kind of hop on right now because I'm kind of running out of time. And then as well, I thought it'd be pretty good for me to it's kind of like a live trade, right? And then so I want to go over the earnings that we had yesterday, and then I want to go over the earnings that Nvidia's earnings that we had yesterday, and then the data that we had coming out today, and then earnings that we have coming out tomorrow, as well as the trades that I got in today. Okay, and so yesterday earnings was Nvidia. Nvidia actually beat expectations. Earnings per share 96 cents adjusted versus 93 cents expected. Revenue 44 billion versus 43 billion. Um, they're expected to lose about 8 billion to the China sales. I couldn't find everything on here. Um, Gross margin of 61% for the quarter would have been 71% if not for the China related charge. So yeah, so they lost some revenue that they okay, sorry. I got to come back. Take profits is down here, okay? Take profits down here. I'm still going to be talking. I just got to be on the screen. Okay? So um yeah, we're about to hit take profits. So as you see, we're right here. We're about to close it out. Once we actually break this right here. Boom. We broke it. Now we want to see a wick. We want to see it getting some type of stop because we don't want to close it early. We don't want to close the trade early. So this is a live trade, my good people. We're all the way down here with profits. Let's see if it wants to keep on. Oh, it's still falling. Oh, yeah. Still falling. Still falling. Still falling. Oh, it gave it a little wick. Come on, fall some more, baby. Oh, my goodness. It's still falling. Close. We closed it. Oh my God, and it fell some more. And it fell some more. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, my good people. Oh my God, it's falling more. Oh my God. So that was a $260 trade. Let's go. $260 trade. Let's get it. And it could have been more because look, it's still falling. It's still falling. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it could have been way more. Oh, now we're getting a little mad. Oh man. So it's like we have profits, but now I'm a little mad because it's like, oh my God, it's just tanking now. Now it's just tanking. Oh, I honestly hope it turns around now because I'm already out of the trade, so I don't want it to. Oh my God. Yeah, we could have had way more. Oh. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. So that is a live trade for you guys. That was a live trade, basically. Y'all seen where I had my take profit? It broke it, kept breaking, and then once I seen it about to like look like it was gonna turn around, I just caught it. $260 winner. $260. Let's go. Let's go. So look, just how y'all see my emotions when I got hyped when I win. That's how it is, and then when I'm losing, I start crying, basically. And so let's just get through it, okay? And so very happy right now. All right, so yeah, so Nvidia beat earnings. Okay, Nvidia beat earnings, and so that actually pumped the market yesterday. But then coming into today, oh my goodness, I don't want it to keep falling. If it keeps falling, I have a little bit more in my contract. If I see it pull back into this fair value gap, let's see the 5 minute. If we see it pull back into this fair value gap, we might get one contract, just one contract in, because we're not trying to get back any of our profits. But honestly, we might be done. Honestly, I might just call it quits because I don't want to be over greedy and then give back profits, okay? And so, yeah, okay, let's get into it, okay? I'm a little distracted now. So, yeah, so Nvidia beat earnings yesterday in the market. Oh my goodness, look at this. We could be up about $400. We were up, remember, we were up $260 right around here. And it boom. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. What is going on? Is there some news I haven't seen? Okay, let's see. Let's see if there's some news that's coming out that some bad news that's coming out. I don't see any bad news. Oh, okay. Crude oil inventories are lower than expected. That gave us some drop. Okay, so we're gonna get into all that. So earnings, and then yesterday, so this is gonna be a little unprofessional, but I just gotta show you guys. So pre-market, we were up. See, Nvidia was at 142. Tesla was at 365. I know Meta was up about the in about the 650s, high 650s. Google 173. So we see everything was pumping. And then okay. And then market opened and it was still pretty much up. Things were still pretty much up. Nvidia was at 141. Tesla was at 363. Everything was pretty much up. And now, where are we right now? Well, right now, as we see, the market is pretty much dumping. Let's go to our Nvidia. Why is it dumping? I'm going to go over this. Trust me, my good people. I'm going to go over all of this. Nvidia is at 140 now. Meta dropped. Because, look, we were all the way up at the 650s. And now we're down to 640. And we're potentially going to drop more, right? As we see, it has a lot of seller pressure right now. Let's look at Tesla. We know Tesla's probably getting hammered right now. No, actually, Tesla's holding up pretty good. Look, it's at 367. It's at 360. $7 drop, but we know Tesla likes to fly up $20, drop $20. So Tesla is holding up fairly well, but Meta is pretty much getting a big hit. It's down to 640. It was up to 652. And the SPY is down to 686, baby. Yes, sir. $260. And keep in mind, that was off 2 contracts. That was only 2 contracts, my good people. So imagine if whenever I start scaling up and get more capital, when I start scaling up, how much that would be. You see what I'm saying? And so that was a good one. That was on live. That was good. So we had earnings. Nvidia was good. We can't go back because we know earning whispers. You have to have like pay for it to be able to look back and forth. So today when market closes, we have Costco earnings. We'll have Costco earnings, and then that's pretty much it. You know, that's really important. Marvel Technology, I don't really know much about that one, but I know we have Costco today. And then let's just get to the data that's actually moving the market, okay? I didn't mean to do that. So the data that's moving the market, okay, jobless claims is actually pretty good for the 4-week average. Forecasted previous 231, 230. Continuing jobless claims came out hotter than expected. Initial jobless claims came out hotter than expected. GDP right here, price index the same. GDP growth rate was negative 0.2, forecasted negative 0.3. So pretty much met expectations. And real consumer spending 1.2, lower than the consensus 1.8, as we see. And then this just literally came out. Literally as I was on the live, or literally on video, basically live, you guys seen it start tanking because of these crude oil inventories, which I'm pretty sure is what caused it. Crude oil stocks exchange negative 2.7. So that is a big drop from the previous and from the consensus. Gasoline stocks changed negative 2.4, big from the consensus negative 0.5. Bill auction lower than expected. Mortgage rates a little higher than expected. Imports lower than expected. So we had some data that pretty much tanked the market just now. Well, I wouldn't say tank, but dropped it. That was a big drop. That was what? That was a $3 drop. Just as you guys seen it in like 5 minutes. That is how fast the market can give you money. But just that fast, the market can pump up and make you lose money. You see what I'm saying? Let me make sure to go on my Robinhood, because we are into this huge fair value gap. I want to see maybe equilibrium of this fair value gap, and maybe some type of turnaround. But honestly, I think I'll probably be done. But this is like kind of, if we see it do what what I'm saying, you just see how it works out, how everything just works out. So let's see if equilibrium of this fair value gap gets hit in our 1 minute and our 5 minute. Of course, you guys know that I go off 5 minute fair value gaps. This is 1 5 minute huge candle. Then we scale down to our 1 minute and we see a big fair value gap right here. We want to see equilibrium of that, and then we want to see some type of reaction, wicks, and then like a reaction. Then we want to see pickup of volume. Look at that volume that just came in and just sold. Oh my goodness, that was beautiful, my good people. That was beautiful. That was honestly beautiful. So that is the data that dropped the market. So now let's go into our trade, okay? So today's trade, what did we see? So we started dropping, right? And I was kind of like, Nvidia earnings are really good. We're getting Trump, what's it called? So Trump's liberation tariffs got blocked by, I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna edit all this out, okay? Okay. Might edit it out, might not. Honestly, probably won't. Okay, so Trump administration blamed activist judges on Thursday for blocking Donald Trump's sweeping tariffs as it looks to overturn a major legal blow to the president's signature economic policy, right? So he was blocking the liberation tariffs, the tariffs that on Liberation Day he put into account. He blocked those. And so that's why the market was also pumping in pre-markets and overnight markets from yesterday. And that is why also I was kind of like, why is it actually like falling? But at the same time I was like, well, I mean, we did have this huge gap up, right? It could just be like a pullback. And so when we started dropping, we dropped, and then we had some news coming out, like the GDP was right there on it. And then follow the trend, right? I was following the trend. I'm saying, never get ahead of the news or ahead of what you think is going to happen, because that is going to make you lose money. If you see it's in a downtrend and you have good news coming out, don't just go in for a buy because, oh, good news coming out, the market's supposed to go up. No, follow the trend. You know what I'm saying? We know, we've learned that because I've done that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I did. You know what I'm saying? I seen it drop, and I seen us get towards this support, right? This area of support. I seen us get to the area of support. So I was like, okay, that should give me the pullback I'm looking for. On my 5 minute, what do I have? What do I have on my 5 minute, baby? So on my 5 minute, we had this fair value gap. Remember, I was in my 5 minute. We had this fair value gap. Then we scaled down to our 1 minute. Then what did we have in our 1 minute? Where was our fair value gap in our 1 minute? Well, we had this one right here, and then we had this one right here. If we're bearish, is what I'm learning and getting from expert traders, which is kind of common sense. When you're bearish, look for the highest fair value gap to get a reaction off. When you're bullish, look for the lowest fair value gap to get a reaction off. You see what I'm saying? So this is pretty much the highest one. This is actually one right here, a little fair value gap right here. If you guys can see this, there's actually a little fair value gap right there in the middle of that. And so right there, what did we do? We actually touched that highest one, but I got in at this one right here. I got it right around here, right around this area right here. And honestly, it was playing with me the whole time. Let's erase this so you guys can see where I'm talking about. So as you guys can see, it was playing with me right here. It was playing with me heavy right here. I got in right here and it was going up, coming down, and it kind of gave me a range, and it came up and it tapped this little fair value gap right here, our highest bearish fair value gap. So that is where I kind of messed up. I didn't get in at my highest bearish fair value gap, but I didn't really want to miss the move, right? Because this is a key fair value gap that could have a lot of power right here, right? Because this is also a big one right here. But, this is one little one right here. And so what did we do? We actually came up and just touched that one. Then we started trending down, trending down. Then we started breaking down. And this is where right before I got on the live, we were doing this. And I was like, man, I know it's gonna break these lows. And it came down and wicked and it started coming back up. Came back down and wicked, started coming back up. Came back down and started coming back up. I was like, man, if this thing shoots back up and stops me out, I'm gonna be mad, right? I was like, I am gonna be mad if it does that. Because honestly, my stop loss was up here, right at the top of the swing. I was like, I'm gonna be mad if it does that, right? And what did it do? It came up and it started rolling back over. And this is around when I started the video. And then all of a sudden, boom. And I was telling you guys, take profit's actually about to get hit. I gotta pull up to the chart. Boom. Huge candle. And you guys already see my reaction. Then boom. And then I wish we would have had this other one down here. I wish we would. This would have been about almost $400 off of 2 contracts. Keep in mind, off of 2 contracts. So I made 94% of my contracts back. So I put in $270. I made $260. Do you see what I'm saying? So that is how easy. Not easy. There's a lot of strategy, a lot of failures. You guys see this, but how fast you can make the money. But it's also how fast you can. It's also how fast you can lose the money. You know what I'm saying? But when you're on the right side, you see how fast you can literally make the money. Because I literally just started the video. 5 minutes in the video, I made $260. But through this whole time, you see, I was in the trade from 9:30 to around 11 o'clock, right? To about 11 o'clock, literally, right? So about an hour and 30 minutes of kind of stressing, like, man, is it gonna go my way? Is it not? Is it gonna stop me out? Is it not? Then boom. So we're very happy about that. And so where did we over leverage? When we hit this top fair value gap, when we started dropping right here, this is when we bought 2 more contracts right around here. And we knew we over leveraged, then it came right here and it started. Actually, I think it was right around right here when it started dropping, because it came down and it started playing around. And then when it started dropping again, I bought 2 more contracts, broke down a little bit, and I knew I over leveraged and I had got out. It was one of these areas. I knew I over leveraged and I got out up $16. Honestly, if I would have stayed in, I would have made a fortune today. I would have made about $600 because I remember those 2 contracts were higher than these 2 contracts. They had a better price because I was all the way up like around here, right? And if I would have had this huge move, that would have been about $300. This one was $260, so I would have made a fortune today. But I knew in the back of my head, it's not all about the P&L. It's about rules and rules and disciplines that can last you over time, right? Because remember, we hit 260 today, but we're not trying to hit the jackpot. We're trying to have consistency. I'm trying to hit 260 today, 260 tomorrow, 300 the next day, maybe $50 the next day. You see what I'm saying? So I want consistency. It's not all about, oh, I made $1,000 today, because you made $1,000 today, but if you don't have no discipline, no consistency, you're gonna give that $1,000 back right back. You see what I'm saying? So tomorrow, I'm not going in like, okay, I got $260 extra. I'm not going to buy 4 or 5 contracts in one trade. I'm going to keep it small, maybe 1 contract, maybe 2 contracts, and that's max. You see what I'm saying? Because you got to have discipline and consistency, and that is going to keep you in the game long term. You see what I'm saying? And look what we're doing. We're chopping up, and we're just kind of getting a little higher in this fair value gap. We could maybe touch this previous support and make it resistance and give us a drop. That's what we honestly could probably do. Or whenever it's ready, it could keep dropping if it wants to. Because as we see, look at this. This volume was high to cause that. And as we see the volume, as it's chopping up, we see the volume of the buyers are going down and down and down. So we'll see what's going on, right? We'll see what's happening. So that's where we got in trade. Our first trade was right around right here. Why? Because this was our second fair value gap. We should have waited for this highest fair value gap, but we didn't. And, man, this is looking very appealing to get into a second trade, man. Look at this. This is perfect wick. We see the strong candle, but volume isn't really there, as we see. And so, yeah, we're not going to get it. We're just going to play it safe. If we miss out on some more money, we miss out on some more money, but we made our money. You see what I'm saying? So, look, if I would have just hopped in, look, we got another green candle that's coming right up against us. And so this was our first trade. Our second trade was right around here, but we closed that one early because we knew we were just over leveraged, right? We had 4 contracts in. We don't need 4 contracts in, right? We don't have capital like that to just have 4 contracts in, because if we take a big loss, that is a lot of loss to our capital that we have trading. You know what I'm saying? You don't really want to do that. That's over leveraging, okay? And so, exactly, we closed it out up $16, and this one we held, right? Because this was the one we were confident in. This one, I mean, even though we were higher up, we knew that one was an over leveraged one, and so we kept these two because these were our original positions, and we rolled them. And through all of this, that's why it pays to not just stop yourself out early. Always have your stop loss set and have your take profits set. Because if you would have just been like, when it was coming down here, I just wanted to keep dropping, keep dropping, keep giving me more money, keep giving me more money, you would have, now you would have given your profits back. You see what I'm saying? But if you have your take profits area, just like I had my take profits, it dropped. I didn't just close it because I seen it just kept dropping, kept dropping, kept dropping, kept dropping, right? But once I seen like some little wick, let me just cut it, because I already know it already hit take profit. It's already dropping so far, so hard, and so took profit because I've been on that side where I'm like, just keep dropping, keep dropping, keep dropping, and $1,500, believe it or not, I've had a profit of $1,500, came all the way back up, and I only made $200. You see what I'm saying? So I've done that. So a lot of things I tell you guys I've done. I've made a lot of mistakes. You know what I'm saying? I made a mistake yesterday, and I actually wasn't going to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I made a mistake yesterday. You know what I'm saying? With a trade, not like a regular chart trade, but just kind of a gamble trade. And it was a gamble, exactly what I'm saying. And I lost pretty much that whole contract. You see what I'm saying? And so I'll go over that real quick. And so, that's why whenever I go over these things, it's to help myself and also to provide information for you guys, okay? And so that's why you have your predetermined stop loss, your take profit. Not just whenever you see it going hitting your take profit, you don't just close it out, but you let it, you give it to some room to drop. But once you start to see any, like, when you get a little uncomfortable, remember I have a short on here. When you get a little uncomfortable, take your profits. There's no rules to take your profits. When you have a take profit, it hits your take profit, and when it's dropping, close it out, because you don't close it out predetermined, but make sure to capitalize on your gains. Because remember, I could have made about almost $400 on that one, but I cut it a little early. But I was more confident in that. I didn't know it was gonna keep dropping, right? So I was more confident around right here whenever I seen us get a little wick, right? And I was like, I don't want it to, because it could pull back, hit this. I don't even want to risk that. I don't want to risk nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So I took my profit up $260, and so overall in the day up $276. That is awesome. I literally had a home run on basically live with you guys, okay? And so that's pretty much it. Tomorrow, what do we have? I think tomorrow's a pretty important day. Tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow could actually be a pump day. That is my bias going into tomorrow, depending on what news we have coming in. Depending on what news we have tomorrow, I can actually see a pump tomorrow. So we're gonna have PCE, PCE price index. So that's gonna be very important. PCE, personal income month to month, core PCE, GD. Oh no, that's not us. I was gonna say we just had GDP or GDP. We had GDP today. It was GDP for the Q1, just second estimates, okay, and then Fed Bostic speech. So tomorrow's some pretty big info as well that could either pump or dump the market as well, okay? And so that is pretty much it. I love how y'all basically got to see the live trade. That was pretty freaking cool. That was pretty freaking cool, honestly. That honestly like made my day. I mean, one, the winning trade, and then two, getting it on camera for you guys. That was pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? So you guys see in my first trade, I got in right around here, my second fair value gap. But remember, when you're bearish, you want to get in at your highest fair value gap. When you're bullish, you want to get in at your lowest fair value gap, because that is where price is usually going to retrace to. Okay, you see what I'm saying? And so that is pretty much it. I showed you guys the data we had coming out tomorrow. I showed you the data that we had coming into today, which is why we kind of tanked the market today. I showed you Nvidia's earnings that we had come out after markets of yesterday, which is why we had the pump running up into pre-markets and into today. We had while we were gapped up because of those Nvidia earnings, and then the tariffs being paused by the courts and stuff like that. I showed you the drop, showed you my trades, showed you where I over leveraged, why I got out on that over leveraged position, because I knew I was over leveraged. I knew I let my emotions get the best of me. Right when I did it, I pretty much just got straight out. No matter how much I could have made, I knew my disciplines and consistency. That I knew over leveraging is not part of my disciplines. I know long term that is not gonna get me wins. So no matter how much I could have made, I'm happier with me having the discipline to close out that position. You see what I'm saying? And so that is pretty much it. Tomorrow we have some very big data. Okay. I'm gonna talk about that trade real quick. So I wish we didn't do this yesterday. So remember how I was telling you guys how I felt like Nvidia was gonna dump if it did good. You know what I'm saying? Either way, I felt like it was kind of gonna give a pullback. Well, so I bought a contract. Not a good one. The delta was really low, so it was a $148 contract at like I think a 527 strike price. Nvidia was at 135 at the time, and basically I was up about $10 when market closed, and I bought it for today. It expired today, and then as we know, when earnings hit, all that market ran up. Nvidia was at like 140, 142 actually, and then when market opened, my contract was basically down the whole position. I was down $140, and it was a gamble. It was a risk, but I wanted to put my money where my mouth was because what I felt like was gonna happen, and it was honestly a lesson learned. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do that again. You know, that was a gamble, like I said, but it was a kind of educated gamble based on what we've seen, like Palantir dumped when it had good earnings, Tesla pumped when it had bad earnings. You know, so it's kind of like it was very risky for sure, and it was just a gamble. That's not what I do. It doesn't follow my trading disciplines or my consistency disciplines, and so that was just bad on me. You know what I'm saying? So basically, I lost $140 on that, and so basically on the week, I'm only up what $140. I'm up about $140, $130, but I could have been up a whole 276. So you see what I'm saying? That's where those little disciplines and consistencies, when you mess up on those could really set you back on the week. You see what I'm saying? And so I'll take complete ownership on that. That was on me. That's a rookie mistake. That is not what I do. That is not what I stand for in trading. And so it was just a big risk. You know, I knew it was a risk. And honestly, I wish I didn't take it, but I did. You know what I'm saying? I learned from it though, and I'm going to bounce back even harder. As you've seen today, I bounced back hard, and I'm just very glad I got to show that on live with you guys. So that was very awesome. All right, I love every single one of y'all who are with me on the journey. And remember, guys, stay persistent, passionate. Make sure y'all get paid. All right, peace.